Did you know about the Native American tribes known as the Chichimeca? The Chichimeca were a nomadic group of people who lived just north of the Valley of Mexico. They lived in the modern Mexican states of Guanajuato, Jalisco, San Luis Potosi, Aguascalientes, and in parts of many other states. Though they are collectively known as a single group of people, the fact was that they were a distinct set of tribes with their own languages and customs. As a matter of fact, the reason why they were called Chichimecas was because it was a pejorative term bestowed upon them by the much larger and more powerful Aztec Empire. The name Chichimeca was actually used in the same manner that the Roman Empire used when describing Germanic tribes in Northern Europe, that term being barbarians. Regardless, the Chichimeca were renowned as fierce warriors who fended off Spanish colonizers for over 40 years in what today is known as the Chichimeca War, which lasted from 1550 to 1590. Unfortunately, however, close contact with these European invaders caused diseases like smallpox, malaria, and the flu to spread, eventually wiping out as much as 90% of the Chichimeca people. But even then, the Spanish had such a difficult time subduing these indigenous warriors that they ended giving up fighting the Chichimeca in open combat and decided to coerce the tribes into peace through trade and religion. The disastrous implication these wars and plagues had on the remaining tribes caused them to eventually assimilate, in large part losing their culture, language, and way of life after being absorbed into what was then known as New Spain. The reason for the Spanish crown wanting to assimilate these tribes was quite simple, because the Chichimeca inhabited mineral-rich lands which could be exploited and thus forth needed the native labor to work the mines, without fear of being constantly raided by local tribes. Ultimately, the Chichimeca will go down as one of the few Native American tribes in Mexico to never have surrendered to the Spanish, which only elevates their status as some of the most fierce warriors in history. Finally, it must be noted that though their culture and language may be forgotten to history, many Mexican and Mexican Americans still have ancestral DNA from these fierce and nomadic warriors, and that is something to be proud of.